Hey there, this is Christine Landl, and I am with my sister, my best friend, my business partner, Jennifer Ream, and we are so excited to be here on yet again another platform that we are creating and another chapter, another piece to our journey.
The Well Podcast. This is Jennifer Ream. So excited to be here with you guys. Our intention for this podcast is all about sharing our love for all things wellness, holistic wellness that is, and we are here to uplift, plant some seeds, and support you on your wellness journey. We've always loved being able to be out there with our community, sharing all the things that we learn. And as we grow and learn new things, we love to put them out there, and maybe they'll plant some seeds for you and help you along your journey. So here we are. Let's get started.
Hey, welcome back. It's Christine here and my sister Jen. We're back and ready to get going talking about our favorite things all about health and wellness. And what better way than to start with healthcare versus sick care?
Yeah, I think this is a big topic because not only because of the year we've just all been through, but we really watched, especially me as a nurse, I watched just how our system works, our healthcare system works, and I've been in it, I've worked in it, and I've also lived on the other side where I have more a healthcare focus versus a sick care focus. And I think there's a distinction there, and I think that's what I really wanted to kind of dive into that today and just share some thoughts and share some things that we've learned over the years. And just a quick disclaimer on this podcast that we are not providing medical advice. We are simply sharing our experiences as health coaches, as a nurse for me, in our personal health journey experiences and what we've learned over the years. So please take advice from your own personal doctor and your team of wellness experts. But
and your intuition.
And your intuition. Yes. So healthcare versus sick care, what does that even mean? And for me, how it's evolved over the years is it's understanding that we have options and choices every day that keep us living our healthiest selves. And there's ways that you can be really in tune with your body so that you do know if your body is whispering to you or if you're getting to the point where you're really, really off and something is really wrong and your body's screaming at you. And where we love to focus is on healthcare and the health of our body and prevention versus living in a system of sick care where you're always reacting to your body's screams. Mm-hmm. You're always reacting to what your body's telling you is wrong with you in your system, the imbalances that are occurring. And I think that we've as a country have been living in a sick care system for so long where we band-aid issues. We give people a pharmaceutical and we tell them this is how they're gonna live, and that these are just the side effects that you have to deal with. And what I really want to share today is there's so many other options available, and we don't have to live in a sick care system. We can thrive and be in a healthcare system, and there's lots of tools and there's lots of people and practitioners out there, and it's not one person. It's a team, and it's multiple modalities, it's multiple avenues, it's many things. It's a big toolbox full of health. And that's really what I wanted to dive into today and what we want to chat about, I think. So
yeah, and I think that because this is society, at least us growing up and in our young adulthood, is we were just taught to mask the symptoms and band-aid the symptoms. And I think that's where a lot of pharmaceutical pushing has come in. It's like, you have these ailments, take this. And it's like, okay, well, let's just put a Band-Aid on that. But who knows what's causing that ailment? But you're going to take this, and then you're going to have all of these other side effects from the thing that you're taking.
Well, not to mention, I mean, you just reminded me of one of my hugest pet peeves, which is the TV.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And the fact that, I mean, one, I don't really watch TV, but I do enjoy myself a little Hallmark Channel here and there. And the Hallmark Channel is crazy inundated with pharmaceutical commercials, which, you guys, this is not allowed in other countries. Like, people come to America and they're like, why do you have pharmaceutical companies pushing drugs on you on your TV?
Well, you're literally diagnosing yourself while you're watching a wonderfully romantic Valentine Hallmark movie, and now you just got like, oh my God, I have this disease, I have those symptoms from the commercials. And 80% of advertising dollars are pharmaceutical.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane that is what is on our TV, and that they are allowed to even do that. I mean, it makes zero sense to me that is even allowed. It should be against the law, just like it is in other countries. You should not be getting medical advice from your television. It should be a conversation between you and your doctor, and you shouldn't be the one that has to go to your doctor and go, hey, I saw this commercial for this pharmaceutical. And by the way, most of those the commercials are literally like telling you to Band-Aid. They're giving you a drug to Band-Aid the symptoms that are already occurring. Like, it's like a Band-Aid after a Band-Aid after a Band-Aid. It's like it doesn't even get to the root cause. It's like, hey, if you got these symptoms, I can give you a drug, but it's got these symptoms.
And then we're going to give you something else to fix your side effects.
It makes me insane. So anyway, like, you just reminded me of that when I was like, that is such a big pet peeve of mine about and one of the reasons why I basically can't even just turn on the television at all. So just know, like, doesn't have to be your only avenue. It does not have to be your only answer. Know that there's just so many things out there that can keep you in a health care state, in a healthy place. And number one is listening to your body. That is honestly number one. Like, if you're tuning into your body every day, like, if something's off, don't ignore it. Listen to it. Ask your body, what are you trying to tell me today? Journal about it. Like, turn inward and really listen and receive the answers, because your body will tell you. And then if you can't dive deeper into it on your own, then that's when you seek out your people, your tribe, and your functional medicine provider, and an energy healer if you need to. Like, all of these things that are so awesome in keeping the balance of health in your body.
And I think that's really important piece, because it's not just one person. It really is a healthcare team that we need. And whether it's your functional medicine doctor, a physical therapist, your personal trainer for your exercising, that's a part of your healthcare team. Whatever that looks like for you, it's one, not a one size fits all. Two, it is incredibly important to have your village and your team and seek those out. And again, it's just a part of your toolbox. And the little whispers and the nudges that your body's trying to tell you, they're really just messages. So you're eating a big meal and you feel lethargic and exhausted afterwards. Like, what is my body trying to tell me? I'm supposed to be eating to have energy and to be fueled. And so, I mean, of course, enjoy it too. But if you're feeling lethargic afterwards, like, what is my body trying to tell me? So bottom line is, listen to your intuition on that. When you feel like something's off, it probably is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's just time to dive a little bit deeper until your body is screaming at you.
And believe me, there's a time and a place, and I don't want to completely knock pharmaceuticals. I mean, I have to take it's a compounded pharmaceutical every single day for my thyroid. It's more on the natural side of things. And I've gone through so many different ones, and a lot of the synthetic ones just don't work for me. So, I mean, there is a time and a place. My goal is to not be on those. And so that's part of my journey, and figuring out all of the things that I need to do to get off of them altogether. But again, for infections, acute care.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing, I mean, I've had situations in my life where I had these bouts of vertigo. And I mean, if I didn't have the certain medications that were available to me, I would have been really suffering. So there's definitely a time and a place for these things. I would never want to knock that. I mean, we're fortunate to be in where modern medicine and science has served us in so many wonderful ways. Our point is like, we've kind of switched and we've turned the balance to where we've relied on that too much.
It's a crutch.
And we've not empowered people to find other things that could be serving them better. And that's our point. Like, there's options out there that could be serving you better. If you're put on a pharmaceutical and it has side effects and you're just told that that's what you got to deal with, well, then that's what we're saying. Like, that's not necessarily the case.
Especially when it comes to chronic lifestyle conditions. And
Right.
that's really when we have to empower ourselves to know that we are in control. I mean, heart disease, yes, it can run in your family, but there's a lot of the stuff that tells us that's just in your genes or it's your genetic makeup are actually things that we have picked up because of our lifestyle that we were taught growing up. And so you are not, your genes aren't written in stone. And of course we could go into all of the whole epigenetics, which is really cool, but we won't do that this time. I think it's incredibly important to know that you can, if it's a lifestyle condition, chronic condition, that is something that you can change around just by exercise, nutrition, meditation, stress reduction, all of that. That is where we need to take our power back. Mm-hmm. That is where they're putting us on too many drugs that are, again, creating side effects and creating more and more and more problems. So with that said, antibiotics being one, we're over-prescribing antibiotics. And for things that we can, they're saying now that, meaning the studies that I've looked and read upon and people in our world that do these studies, they say getting on an antibiotic for a cold or a sinus infection literally helps you by about 6 hours. That's it. It's not, it's maybe getting you feeling better a little bit sooner. But what happens when we're doing too many antibiotics is, one, we get superbugs and they don't work anymore. Mm-hmm. And then two, it completely destroys your microbiome. So antibiotics don't just kill the bad guys, they kill the good guys. And so unless you are putting back all of those probiotics and feeding them with prebiotics, you're destroying your gut microbiome, which is your immune system.
Right.
So that piece is super important. And again, it's connecting all of the dots, knowing that the entire body from head to toe, mind, all of it is connected.
And I would just love to share too, for me, I haven't, had to be on an antibiotic, and I couldn't even tell you when, but what I have used that's helped for me is frankincense essential oils. Mm-hmm. And that has been like my go-to antibiotic. And I swear by it. I mean, if I feel like my throat scratching, I blather it on my throat and my lymph nodes. And same, like if I feel a UTI coming in, I put it on my lower abdomen. I just use it for everything. And it works phenomenal. I've used it on my kids for years and years. And really the most important thing though to remember is as soon as you feel something. Like, you can't wait 24 hours, 48 hours. I mean, and I think that's one thing we can all take away. If you're listening to the doctors and scientists who've been treating COVID this year, who've successfully treated hundreds of cases with no hospitalizations, they will tell you it is that they got on top of treating their patients immediately within the first 24 to 48 hours of feeling symptoms. That is the key with many of these illnesses that we, the common cold or the flu or things that are going on. You have to get on top of it right away. So in addition to just my normal everyday vitamins and supplements, if I do feel something or I feel off or I feel lethargic or something, I can just, when your body's off, when you feel like you're fighting something. If you're really tuning in, don't ignore it. That is the most important thing. Do not ignore it. Jump on it right away. Take your up your vitamin C and your D and your zinc, and use your essential oils and any of your other homeopathic remedies that you might like. And we have a few that we love. And maybe we can do an episode strictly on that one day. But it's really, really important to knock it out like immediately. So.
Yeah, my experience with frankincense too, and I kind of went through a time where strep throat was coming easily to me, and it was like Jen said, immediately getting on the frankincense once an hour, putting it on my throat, and I had spots on my throat. And this happened multiple times, and they were gone within 24 to 48 hours of doing frankincense and hot tea. Green tea is a big piece
Huge.
of our
Green tea.
wellness.
Yeah.
So drinking lots of green tea, mucocossinum, which is our go-to homeopathic flu remedy. We take that from September to April every 2 weeks as a preventative. And then when you start to not feel well, we do it for 3 days in a row, 3 times a day. So that we've been using that for about 15 years too.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
That stuff's amazing. So yeah, we have like quite a bit of stuff that we use to prevent the common seasonal illnesses, but then, from an overall standpoint, there's a lot of things that you can do too. So it's that preventative piece. You don't want to live in fear of getting, I'm doing this so I don't get cancer. I'm doing this so I don't get this and this and this. It's just more of like, I'm doing this so I can feel my best. I'm doing this so I have optimal wellness. It's really like that mental piece is just as important as what you're putting in your body and on your body.
100%.
So in mental health is another part that we really wanted to dive into a little bit, because having a therapist is a part of your healthcare team. There's no shame in that. And we have our go-to people that we love, and it's a matter of just giving them a call and knowing that you need some space and somebody to have an objective opinion for you, or so that you can just talk and get it all out. And whether it's somebody for your family or for your personally, that piece is just as important. And your mental health and your stress is really just a big impact on your overall wellness.
Yeah, it really does affect your longevity. So I think people don't realize that the chronic stress affects our mental health, but also affects dis-ease within the body, which causes disease within the body. So we have to stay on top of that. And that's where I think for us, the morning practice is part of our mental health care. It's about honoring that we may need some space, and we may need to, journal and release and be angry or sad or cry it out or whatever we got to do. Like, we create the space for ourselves to be able to do that, honor it, and teach our children that that's normal. Like, it's this teaching our children that it's not okay to cry, especially our boys and things like that. No, we have to honor that within all of us as human beings. Teach them from a young age that it's okay to cry and express yourself, and honor your feelings. And
because those are all energies and emotions that we have to feel. And we always say you have to feel it to heal it, and you have to move it through your body to heal it too. So, that feeling of when you have anxious feelings, or you're nervous, or you're upset, somebody hurt your feelings, you're taking something personal. And typically we can feel it in our stomach, and we can feel it in our throat sometimes. Your jaw clenching. You can feel it in your shoulders. So all of these things are energies that we have to move through our body. And it's not about, I always have to be positive. We're human, so we're going to have all of those emotions. But it's like we said, you have to deal with it. You have to accept it and see it and feel it and understand that it's there, again, to give you a message. It's just there to tell you something. And so you have to honor yourself. We have our moments. You can tell when everyone is getting on your nerves, especially like the people in your home that you love the most, that you need space.
Yeah.
And you have to give yourself that space. And again, that's a part of taking care of your mental health. And in a world where we are turned on 24/7 now with phones and Wi-Fi and all of it, especially our children. I mean, we have to honor that quiet time and that space to really have stress reduction, stress relief, and to remain calm and to have peace and harmony around. So in order to have those things, you have to be intentional about what you're doing and allowing.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely a conversation to have. We hope to have somebody on who's an important part of our team, and to share, especially what she's as a practitioner been experiencing this year with children, and all of the issues that she's seeing with children, and what we've gone through during this lockdown and pandemic. And so we'll definitely dive deeper into this topic, but we hope that gave you a little bit of an overview of what we use as our healthcare system and our healthcare team. And
I think it's really important to touch on real quick that, you don't have to feel alone if you're struggling from a mental health perspective, and that it's, you have to reach out to people, and you have to have your tribe, and you have to always know that there, sometimes with anxiety and depression, it could be simple as foods that we're eating that are causing those things. Sugars can cause those things. Trauma that we need to move through our body and work out with somebody professional. So there's so much that we can do. And I just want to, point that out, that reach out to somebody. If you are feeling heavy in this way and you're feeling a little bit hopeless, it's, there are solutions out there, and it doesn't have to be masked with a pill. Like, there's so much we can do.
Yeah. And I think just to hit home on the final point of what this whole episode was about is just that let's keep the mindset that we're living in a health care system. We're not going to choose a sick care system. We're really going to be focused on being mindful of all the things that we can do to optimize our health and honor our body and honor this temple that we've been given, and appreciate it and love it and do the best we can to serve it. And that is the mindset that we want to remind everybody.
Yeah. And you don't have to take no for an answer. I mean, if someone's not giving you what you want to hear, then you keep going until you find what you want to hear. There's so much information out there. And that's kind of the blessing too, in disguise with too much information out there, is that it is available. And there's a lot of people who want to take your power away, especially right now, and let you feel, and help you to feel that you don't have any choices or options, but we do. We have lots of choices. We have lots of options, and you just have to find the right people and connect with the right people.
Absolutely. So thanks for joining in today. We're so happy that you stayed in and stayed tuned in, and really we're grateful to share this information and all these tools and tips, and we would love to hear what you have to say and what's working for you, or if you have questions. We're always here at Drink Juice at Vibe Well, and you can always find us on social, Vibe Well Lifestyle on Instagram, and DM us if you have any questions.
Yep, and you can leave comments below if you have any questions about some of our favorite brands. We're always happy to share those things too as well.
Yeah, lots of love.
Have a great day.
See you next time. Thanks again, friends, for joining us today on our latest podcast episode. We love sharing this with you, so please share the love if you feel called to all your friends and family.
And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on what we're going to talk about next. It's always so juicy.
And of course, you can find us on social, Instagram, Vibe Well Lifestyle, and Vibe Well on Facebook. Love y'all.
And if you're in town, make sure you stop by and see us at Vibe Well too.
Yeah, we would love to see your cute face.
See you soon.
Bye.